I am Saurabh Sonone and today's topic is inheritance and containment. Inheritance is the most common approach for code reusability in object-oriented programming. Uh, then sometimes we can need only one functions to be used from a class but still inherit the entire class. This results in all the base class members with public and protected access modifier also being exposed to the derived class. Containment provides an alternative to the use of inheritance along with the ability to control which members of a class should be available to other classes. Then second, what is containment? Containment is simple approach in which a class B that needs access to the members of a class contains an instance object of a class or rather than inheriting the class through controlling access to a members of a class may be the reason why we may not prefer inheritance. For used reusability, there are a few points that may help us to decide whether we should use inheritance or containment. So let's discuss these points. Do we entire functionality of the base class or just some part of it? Let's take an example of a class named living things used to classify all the living things in the world, having basic functions like can walk, can talk, can run, and so on. Now with this function, it will be meaningful. If we create from the living things, this is because a human being can walk, talk, and run. So we can inherit common functions from the living thing class and extra and functionality in the derived class. However, will it make sense to have a class named animals and drive it from the living things class? The answer is no. Since an animal can walk and run, but an animal cannot talk. Inherit will still expose this method to derived class. So if we really want to use the inherit with this concept, then it will be better break the living things class into further components depending on the requirements and further use and the base class. If we have situation where we need to access all functions of the base class in the derived class, then this kind of the inheritance code is in sync with the Liskov situation principle of its principle. Thank you so much.